Kenny Chesney, it's Cat Country 107.3, Mornings with Joe and Jahna. Welcome to a Thursday morning. It is the 9th day of May already.
Cheers, Thirsty Thursday. Welcome back.
It's a Hooray for Buttons Day. Hooray!
I have buttons on my shirts that don't actually function as buttons. They're just there for fun.
That's a great story.
They're just there for funsies. I just wanted to let you know so that I was not lying.
It's also Lost Sock Memorial Day, as we remember your socks that just have somehow disappeared.
Gotten eaten by the dryer.
It's Cat Country 107.3. And Dean, it's Cat Country 107.3, Mornings with Joe and Jahna. So earlier this week we had a trivia contest. Like, what was how many babies weren't born in a hospital in the United States? Like tens of thousands. It was a very high number.
Yeah, it was higher than you would think.
So we want to know about your story. Did you have a birth that occurred not in a hospital? Where was it, and why'd you do it that way? What happened? Let us know on the Cat Country 107.3 app. Hit the Message Us button.
We're just nosy.
Or call us at 609-383-1073. That's our question of the day. Where was your birth that wasn't in the hospital? Let us know. We'll talk more at 7:20 on Cat Country 107.3. Good things you need to know this morning. A 15-year-old Egg Harbor Township girl was seriously injured yesterday while on a bicycle on Ocean Heights. She was struck by a tow truck. She was taken to Atlantic Care, then airlifted to Cooper Hospital.
The trial of Christopher Greger continues today in Ocean County as a dramatic evidence showed Greger walked out of the emergency room as his 6-year-old son was dying. Prosecutors say the Barnegat man abused his son, whom he considered fat, and forced him to run on the treadmill after he had fallen off. The boy died from blunt force trauma. Testimony by a pathologist claimed the boy died from a heart condition triggered by severe stress. Greger remains in the Ocean County Jail during his trial.
They're shooting a movie about musician Bob Dylan in Cape May over the next week. There will be lots of parking and traffic restrictions in the city beginning tomorrow.
That won't be annoying.
Bottom line, don't park where you're not allowed to. Your car will get towed.
Yeah.
South Jersey weather, partly sunny today. A chance of some scattered light rain, a high of 71. Coming up, we want to send you to see Luke Combs in Phoenix. Details on how to win in less than 20 minutes. It's Cat Country 107.3. Please from today, he's going to join us in Wildwood for the Barefoot Country Music Fest. It's Cat Country 107.3. Mornings with Joe and Jahna. Time now for Jahna's Fangirl Update.
Oh, this one's rough. Keep Jelly Roll and his wife, Bunny XO, in your prayers. They're going through a really rough time right now. Bunny shared with the world, so did Jelly Roll actually, that she just lost her dad. I lost my dad this year. And anybody that's been through that knows just how hard it is. Jelly Roll's father-in-law, he'd been living with them since he got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer late last summer. Jelly Roll would post updates. Bunny would post updates. He was put on hospice in November, and he did make some pretty remarkable progress in the following months. They shared the news of his passing yesterday. Details are up now at catcountry1073.com. Get ready to learn a lot about Lainey Wilson and how she got to where she is. Lainey's rise to country music stardom will be on full display in her new Hulu documentary. I can't wait. Lainey Wilson, Bell Bottom Country. The film's going to take a deep dive into her upbringing in the small town of Baskin, Louisiana, to the bright lights of Nashville, where, she's the CMA Entertainer of the Year. You can check out the trailer. It just dropped this week on the Cat Country 107.3 app.
About with free concert tickets starting tomorrow.
First up, that'll be from noon till 1. I'm going to be at the Acme in Wildwood, giving away Barefoot Country Music Fest tickets every 15 minutes. So you want to get there ASAP.
That'll be tomorrow.
Tomorrow from noon till 1, Park Boulevard
and then
in Wildwood.
Saturday, from 10 till noon, you're going to find me at DeFeo's Manahawkin Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. We haven't been to Manahawkin in a while. I'm going to be there Saturday morning, 10 to noon. I'll have Jason Aldean tickets for you to win every 15 minutes while we're there.
Ooh.
10 to noon. It's at their new showroom, Manahawkin Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Route 72. Mornings with Joe and Jahna. Jahna, we're going to bring you in here to tell us about why we're seeing all these about these stories about this dog. Why am I seeing them all on my Facebook page?
It's so sad. So yeah, but you are right, because the internet is kind of losing their minds. So there's this 11-year-old German Shepherd from Little Egg Harbor, and her story has gone viral, like even beyond here in South Jersey. Her name is April, and she's had a rough year, Joe Kelly. So her owner passed away, and she's at a dog boarding school. Based on everything we know, that school is in Little Egg. And the news broke thanks to Beth Stern from Furry Friends and the North Shore Animal League that this poor girl is going to be euthanized over the weekend if she doesn't have a new owner or a foster family. by Saturday. Her owner passed away, and she's just the sweetest girl, and people just don't want to see her life taken prematurely. So if you can help, or if you can at least spread the word, we have it up for you right now, catcountry1073.com. Team April. I'm going to tell you this right now. If I didn't have 2 dogs already, Joe Kelly, I would be going to get her. Like, I would have called you and been like, listen.
Cat Country Mornings with Joe and Jahna. It's time now for your Cat Country Joke of the Morning. Karen has sent us the joke we're going to use this morning.
Karen. Awesome. Thanks, Karen.
Karen, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your Cat Country Joke of the Morning. Job interviewer. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Me. I would say my biggest weakness is listening. Listen, hey, we've got some brand new Cat Country music coming up in a little while from Post Malone. He's recorded a country song, I guess an album, and we have the first single, and he actually sounds pretty good, doesn't he?
He sounds so good, and what's even more shocking about this, he sounds so young, and I love it.
I don't know how old
great.
he is.
He's in his 30s.
Okay. Well, that's pretty young anyway.
30s.
That's pretty young anyway. But we'll have that coming up. Also coming up at 7:20, our Joe and Jahna question of the day. Have you had a baby, not in a hospital, but somewhere else? We'd love to hear your story. Hit
Weird
us up
question.
Hit us. What's that?
It is a weird question.
Well,
but I'm so curious.
We had that trivia question the other day that literally tens of thousands of babies born every year not in a hospital.
Right. It's becoming more and more popular. So
somebody has a story.
Somebody has a story, right.
We'd love to know your story. Hit us up on the Cat Country 107.3 app. Hit the Message Us button at Cat Country 107.3. Country 107.3, Mornings with Joe and Jahna. Time now for your Cat Country Dumb Story of the Morning. This morning we go to Germany.
Okay, Germany.
A man tried to use a vacuum cleaner to siphon out his car. Siphon the gas out of his car. An electric vacuum cleaner. The man had mistakenly filled his tank with unleaded instead of using diesel and stuck the vacuum hose in the tank to get the gasoline out. When he turned it on, the fumes exploded inside the vacuum cleaner, causing extensive... Good morning, we're Joe and John. 3 things you need to know this morning. A 15-year-old Egg Harbor Township girl seriously injured yesterday while on a bicycle on Ocean Heights. She was struck by a tow truck. She was taken to Atlantic Care, then airlifted to Cooper Hospital.
Weird situation in Egg Harbor Township yesterday morning. A fisherman reported finding a possible dead body in some marshes. Police responded and found a body wrapped inside a duct tape blanket. Only police found it wasn't a body. It was some sort of like silicone, anatomically correct doll. Really weird stuff.
Officials in Seagirt in Monmouth County have passed a ban on beachgoers digging large holes for the purpose of burying people in the sand. The city passed the ordinance to crack down on sandhole digging, which city officials say can be risky. South Jersey weather, partly sunny today. Slight chance of some scattered rain, especially for the afternoon. High of 71. Coming up in less than 20 minutes, we want to send you to see Luke Combs in Phoenix. All the details on the way. Cat Country 107.3. Ableton will do that on trivia just after 7:30 this morning. Right now, Cat Country morning birthday shout-outs.
It's a lot of people's birthdays today.
Happy belated birthday to Finn Eisler of Northfield. Finn turned 9 yesterday.
Aw, Finn, happy birthday.
Keith Morganweck of Northfield is 57 today. Nicole Hauser of Mays Landing is 39.
Happy birthday, Nicole.
Happy birthday, Danielle Collins of Mays Landing. Robert Benedict of Estelle Manor is 48. Dustin Scott of Ocean City has a birthday. It's Helen Brandt's birthday. Helen's from Germania. Donna Carter of Fairton is 40 today.
Donna.
Sean Macumber of Villas is 33. Happy birthday to Carrie Macumber of South Dennis. She's 34.
Are they related?
I don't know.
knows?
I don't know how. I'm not going to speculate.
All right.
Patricia Valari of Ebsecan is 73 today. Nancy Sacco of Wildwood is 63. Happy birthday to Christy Sweeney of Cape May Courthouse. Deborah Capasso of Williamstown is celebrating today.
Deb.
And it's Linda Nevin's birthday. Linda from Bayville is 75. We miss you. Happy one to you as well. The recipient of our Cat Country Big Birthday shout out today, Nicole Hauser of Mays Landing, 30. Joe and Jahna, we missed a birthday earlier, and it's not my fault.
We did. It's well, it was a miscommunication. Chrissy Burrows of Smithville's 37. So happy birthday to Chrissy too.
Miscommunication. You were supposed to tell me, and you didn't.
I did. You just forgot. Or you didn't hear me, or
Never.
I wasn't paying attention that you weren't paying attention. One of the two, but I did say it.
All right, our Joe and Jahna question of the day today. We had a trivia question earlier this week. It was like, what was the number? Like, there are 40,000 births in this country every year.
The high thousands.
Yeah, that have this in common, and they're babies that not born in hospitals. So we want to know.
It was so large. Let me just say that, we knew like it was, becoming more and more like increasingly popular, but we just didn't expect it to be that many.
So if you had a baby not in a hospital, we want to know your story. Where'd you have the baby and why?
Yeah, like why did you choose to not do it, the traditional route?
609-383-1073. Or did Mother Nature force you to not have the baby in the hospital?
Like the back of a cab or something? That's cool.
Stay tuned. We have a story from Mary Beth. Also, you can hit us up on the Cat Country 107.3 app. Hit the message us button. That's what Mary Beth did. She said, I'm from North Jersey, but now we live in Summers Point. This happened when I lived up north.
Okay.
I woke up twice from back labor in the morning, but was able to fall right back asleep. When I woke up for work, I told my husband that I thought today might be the day and to keep his phone on him. The second I got dressed, the intensity got much stronger, so I finally decided I was going to take the day off. I was pretty sure that it was the very early stages of labor, but I figured it would last all day and into the night.
Right.
I wanted labor to happen at home as long as possible in order to give myself the best chance of a med-free birth.
And that's what most people do, I would say. Right?
When my water broke while I was on all fours outside of the bathroom, I was thanking all the gods and goddesses that this meant I had to go to the hospital and finally get some sweet relief. Well, it took us about a half hour to get dressed and out to the parking lot of our apartment complex because I had to keep stopping to get through contractions. I felt like I was about to finish a marathon. We finally made it to our car, and I had to stop and cling to my husband's shoulders to get through another contraction. Suddenly, there was a gush, and something didn't feel right. I looked in my pants.
Oh, my gosh.
And this freaking head was out. I was like, what's going on here? What is that? That's his head.
What's going on here? What is that? Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I wasn't expecting you to say that.
My husband tried to keep me calm, said, it's just mucus. It's just the placenta. Obviously, we both knew the placenta comes out after the baby.
Yeah.
And this thing protruding out of me was hard and had hair, so it was definitely his head.
I had to keep it together.
Somehow my husband persuaded me to get into the car so we could start driving to the hospital, which was only about 10 minutes away. Mary Beth goes on. Roughly 3 seconds into our drive, while we were still in the parking lot, I realized I was no longer feeling contractions. I looked at my stomach, and it wasn't huge anymore. I relayed this information to my husband and let him know there was no way that was anything besides our little boy's head that we saw. I told him we need to call 911 now. Why did they wait this long?
I know. This went from like just chill to like
Mary Beth goes on.
Insane.
She's from Summers Point, but this happened when she lived up north. She said, we pulled over on the side of the road and the operator explained to him how to deliver the head. He coached me through it and got our boy delivered up to his shoulders, which is when fire department showed up and took over to finish the job. I have anxiety just reading this.
Imagine Joe Kelly on the side of the road delivering one of his kids.
The good news is that everything's okay. They placed him in my arms.
I assume so.
She says, and it was just the greatest feeling ever. And after a few minutes, they let my husband cut the cord. It was all such a blur. It doesn't sound like a blur. She can remember it.
She remembered it like
she said, I can hardly remember any of it. Just the feeling of relief that our son was finally here. And I didn't have to be in pain for hours and hours and hours.
It sounds like you are blocking out the pain because you had no drugs, lady. That was probably painful.
She goes on, in the few minutes that it took for our son to be delivered, an ambulance had showed up to take us to the hospital. She said the firemen were so amazing, they cleaned out our Jeep. And one of them drove it to the hospital so my husband could ride in the ambulance with us. In hindsight, we probably should have been at the hospital a long time ago.
She's a trooper. She went through all that. She's like, I can handle it. I can do this.
She says, but again, I assumed I'd be laboring all day.
Right.
So, thank you, Mary Beth. That was the kind of story we're looking for.
I mean, I don't know how you top that.
So let us know your not in the hospital birth story. If you have one, we'd love to hear from you. 609-383-1073 or hit the message us button on the Cat Country. For Joe and Jahna, we have your Chris Stapleton tickets on trivia coming up in about 10 minutes. If you're heading to or live in Cape May, things are going to be a little bit different for the next week and a half. Starting tomorrow.
Just like a little hairy.
There's going to be, starting this weekend, they're going to start filming a movie in Cape May. This is a big production with stars and everything.
It's really cool. It's about Bob Dylan.
They're going to start doing some traffic restrictions and some parking restrictions tomorrow. And it'll kind of a dry run because the filming doesn't start Sunday. But there's a lot of places where you're not going to be able to park. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot of places where you're not going to be able to drive in Cape May. This thing's going to last at least a week. So make sure to follow those restrictions. Don't park anywhere where it says don't. Country Morning Trivia up next, brought to you by South Jersey Gas. To learn more about switching to gas and 0% financing and rebates on HVAC systems, visit southjerseygas.com/lovemyhome. Cat Country Morning Trivia officially on the air. Phone number is 609-383-1073, or you can hit the Call Us button on the Cat Country 107.3 app.
Either way works.
Today's prize, 2 tickets to see the wonderful Chris Stapleton in concert. He's going to be at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion in Camden, Thursday, June 6th. Tickets available at livenation.com. You have 2 tickets, though, if you win trivia this morning. Here's the question. I know we've asked this before, but we're going to ask it again. This is the most popular street name in the United States.
We've definitely asked that before, but I forget the answer, so.
It's not Black Horse Pike or White Horse Pike.
Really? Thank you.
This is the most popular street name in the United States. Holmes trip to Phoenix, Arizona. Right now, Cat Country Morning Trivia is on the air at stake. We've got 2 tickets to see Chris Stapleton. He's going to be at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion in Camden, Thursday, June 6th. Here's the question. This is the most popular street name in the United States. This is the most popular street name in the United States. What is it? Let's go to the phones.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, Cat Country. What is your answer?
Main Street?
No, that's not it. Thank you. Hi, Cat Country. What's your answer?
Is it Main Street?
No,
Nope.
That's not it. Thanks. Hi, Cat Country. What do you got?
First Avenue?
No, that's not it. Thank you.
That was my guess.
And because of the first 2 guesses, that's how we get to the correct answer.
Okay.
Hi, Cat Country. What's your answer?
Main.
No, thank you. Hi, Cat Country. What's your answer?
2nd Street.
Absolutely right. You're a winner.
Woo!
What's your name?
Campbell.
Campbell, where are you from?
I'm from Linwood.
You know why 2nd Street is the most popular?
I have no idea, but Google said it was right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, because a lot of streets are named first streets, or towns name their first street Main Street.
Or Broad,
But everybody
yeah.
has a 2nd Street.
You're right.
Tyler Hubbard back then right now. Cat Country 107.3. Don't forget at 8:20 your first chance to win that trip to see Luke Combs in Phoenix. Congratulations again to Campbell from Linwood. The most popular street name in the United States is 2nd Street. You thought it was a trick question.
I did.
It wasn't a trick question.
Not a trick question, but I mean, it was one that nobody would expect.
Campbell figured it out.
Well, she did, but she Googled it and she admitted.
Well, see, a lot of cities and towns, their most popular street, their busiest street is either called First Street or they call it Main Street.
Or Broad.
And then if they call it Main Street, they don't have a First Street. So they just go Main to second. So,
right.
But everybody has a 2nd Street. So
You're right.
2nd Street was the answer.
Makes sense.
Hey, tonight we find out whether our girl Sydney from Sweetwater wins Farmer Wants a Wife.
Oh, we're rooting for you, Sydney.
It's either her or that blankety blank Kate from California.
As long as she's happy. Either way.
There
That's
you
all
go.
I want for her.
We'll find out tonight. That's Old Dominion Hotel Key. 6 weeks from tonight, they'll be on stage in Wildwood, kicking off the Barefoot Country Music Fest.
We are so excited. If you don't have tickets, by the way.
How can I get tickets? How can I win tickets, Jahna?
Okay, so here's what you do. You're going to come see me tomorrow from noon till 1. I'm going to be at the Acme in Wildwood giving away Barefoot Country Music Fest tickets. Are you ready for this? Every 15 minutes. So what you're going to do is you're going to stay there. You do need to be present to win. It's only an hour from noon till 1. Come out on your lunch break. The Acme in Wildwood. Every 15 minutes, I have your shot at a pair of tickets. We'll see you then.
Good morning. We're Joe and Jahna. Here are 3 things you need to know this morning. A 15-year-old Egg Harbor Township girl was seriously injured yesterday while on a bicycle on Ocean Heights. She was struck by a tow truck. She was taken to Atlantic Care, then airlifted to Cooper Hospital.
The trial of Christopher Greger continues today in Ocean County as a dramatic evidence showed Greger walked out of the emergency room as his 6-year-old son was dying. Prosecutors say the Barnegat man abused his son, whom he considered fat, and forced him to run on the treadmill after he had fallen off. The boy died from blunt force trauma. Testimony by a pathologist claimed the boy died from a heart condition triggered by severe stress. Greger remains in the Ocean County Jail during his trial.
They're shooting a movie about musician Bob Dylan in Cape May over the next week. There will be lots of parking and traffic restrictions in the city beginning tomorrow.
That won't be annoying.
Bottom line, don't park where you're not allowed to. Your car will get towed.
Yeah.
South Jersey weather, partly sunny today. A chance of some scattered light rain, a high of 71. Coming up, we want to send you to see Luke Combs in Phoenix. Details on how to win in less than 20 minutes. It's Cat Country 107.3. Cat Country 107.3. Mornings with Joe and Jahna. Time now for my favorite tweets from the last 24 hours.
All right, go ahead, do it.
There are 5 of them. Number 1, happy hour is just recess time for adults.
Yep.
Number 2.
Best way I've ever heard it described in my life. Number 2.
Number 2, my favorite part about playing video games with my kids is, wait, which guy am I? How do I jump? What's happening?
With your kids. That's me with my boyfriend.
Number 3.
I don't know what's happening.
I never understood why they were called chicken tenders until I let one caress my face.
They're just so tender.
Favorite tweets. Number 4.
I hate that.
If I say nice car, too bad the turn signals don't work one more time. The transformation into my father will be complete. Yeah.
It sounds like it.
We're Joe and Jahna. These are my favorite tweets. Last one, number 5. A Tinder type app, but it matches you with sandwiches.
I'm here for it. Just create it.
Yes. Ruben. Half minutes away from your next chance to win that Luke Combs and Phoenix trip. In the meantime, some good news for fans of The Office. Well, and also some bad news for fans of The Office.
Yeah.
There had been hopes that they'd bring back the old television show.
They're not.
Instead, they're going to bring back a different Office kind of show. It will be kind of like the old Office with a new location, new characters.
It's a spinoff.
The series will begin filming in July for an eventual release on the streaming service Peacock. The first plot details have been revealed. The currently untitled Office spinoff will have a documentary crew that immortalized Dunder Mifflin's Scranton branch following a dying historic Midwestern newspaper and a publisher trying to revive it with the help of a volunteer. Time to give you the trip, hopefully.
It is.
We got
time.
A fabulous trip for 2 to see Luke Combs in Phoenix, Arizona. 5 chances to win every workday. Listen in the morning at 8:20 and 10:20. In the afternoon at 1:20 and 4:20. Then Evan has the 5th time for you to win on Tapes to Country Nights after 7 p.m. Every time we give you a chance to win, we give you a code. You're going to take that code. You can go to the Cat Country 107.3 app. If you don't have the app, download it. It's free. It's called Cat Country 107.3. There's a button on the app that says Luke Combs, and you're going to type in the code. And here we go.
Here we go.
Code number 1 is 798.
That's easy. 798. You're going to click on the Luke Combs button on the app. It's right there in the center. 798. And you're going to be on a plane to Phoenix, Arizona to go see Luke Combs in concert, and it's going to be a great time for you. Phoenix is a really cool place if you've never been. 798. Jess has your next code coming up at 10:20 this morning. 798. Good luck.
I have to ask you said the code was easy, 798.
Is that
Can
not
you
right?
think of a 3-digit code that isn't easy?